Every time a delivery driver leaves the street and steps onto a private doorstep, they cross a distinct physical boundary. They leave the safety of public spaces and step directly into the unknown, unregulated environment of a stranger's home. This mapping illustrates a cognitive vulnerability known as normalcy bias. When the human brain is engaged in a highly routine task, like delivering a pizza, it tends to minimize clear warning signs of danger. The natural fight or flight response is suppressed, replaced by a behavioral loop of professional compliance. The strict requirement of finishing the transaction forces the driver to push through their own physiological warnings. A heavy knot in the stomach or an alarming sound is rationalized away quickly because the job dictates they must hand over the food and collect the cash before leaving. The uniform creates psychological insulation. It transforms a driver from an individual with survival instincts into a worker following procedure. This predictability makes them uniquely vulnerable to anyone looking to exploit that compliance. Consider a 21-year-old driver navigating a dark, isolated road in upstate New York. The map routes him far from any main highway, finally dead-ending at a brand new, completely secluded waterfront property late at night. Every light in the house is blazing, loud music pours out from inside, and two young women answer the door in minimal clothing, instantly flirting with the driver. Yet, looking around the wide-open property, there are only 2 cars parked outside. The visual scale of the party contradicts the physical evidence. Invited inside, he is immediately hit by a severe, putrid odor. There are no other guests visible anywhere. Focused on securing his tip and completing the delivery, the driver ignores the stench and the empty rooms. The illusion shatters on the second step of the staircase. A scream for help echoes from the floor above. The two hosts freeze, look at each other, and the blonde clearly mouths a curse word. The performance breaks, and the driver immediately runs. As he speeds back down the long driveway, he catches a glimpse in his rearview mirror. In the darkness of the house, a pale, shadowed head is looking out from every single window. The setup relied entirely on the driver's expectation of a normal social gathering. By using loud music and attractive hosts, the predators created an environment that encouraged the victim to walk right past his own survival instincts. In a different town, another driver receives a delivery note that demands a far deeper physical intrusion. The instructions state the front door is unlocked. He is commanded to let himself in and leave the food on a bed in an upstairs bedroom. He calls his boss, explicitly stating he feels unsafe entering the house. The boss insists he complete the delivery anyway. The hierarchy of employment overpowers the driver's direct perception of danger, forcing him to obey. Inside, the home is engineered for sensory deprivation. The main lights are dead. The driver navigates a dark hallway using only the dim, flickering glow of scattered candle-shaped nightlights, stripping away his ability to properly map his surroundings. Dropping the food on the mattress in the pitch-black room, he reaches into an adjacent doorway for a light switch. Instantly, an unseen hand tightens around his arm with a crushing grip, trying to pull him into the darkness. He manages to strike the arm with his keys and escape. The environment of the house and the pressure from his employer combine to pull him directly into the ambush point. Some traps rely on extreme isolation. A third driver is routed miles out of town, navigating a dark gravel road deep in the woods until he reaches a single unlit trailer. In the back, the driver meets an agitated couple. The window curtains inside are twitching. The man harshly scolds the woman for providing the address. They stand awkwardly close together, deliberately concealing something behind their backs. The woman retrieves the payment and hands it to the man. Then begins the stall. The man starts counting the few bills with agonizing slowness. 5, 10. He is anchoring the driver in place, demanding his visual attention on the money. As the driver watches the cash, he catches a silent exchange. The woman stares intently past the driver's shoulder, looking into the woods behind him, and gives a subtle confirming nod. The driver turns around. A figure with a heavy axe steps into the firelight from the dark tree line behind him. The slow cash counting served as a distraction to cover the attacker's approach. The slow-motion counting of cash, the nod to the tree line, and the sudden emergence of a second attacker are the specific stages of a pincer movement. It is designed to fix a target in place before striking from an angle they aren't watching. Escaping the location doesn't end the ordeal. The first driver quit and changed his phone number after receiving a text message that read, "We know where you work," proving the group was still actively tracking him. These drivers face life or death scenarios while being penalized for trusting their own instincts. The driver pulled into the dark bedroom was rewarded for his near miss with a slight raise, bringing his wage to $8.50 an hour. Modern delivery services have a structural vulnerability. By placing an order, a predator can generate a guaranteed route that delivers an isolated, rule-following individual straight to their door. In these scenarios, the only thing separating a close call from tragedy is often pure luck. If you found these breakdowns insightful, hit subscribe to ensure you don't miss our next analysis. But next time you hear a knock at your door, remember who is standing on the other side and what they might be walking into.